Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Camp Legend Lorcana video with your boy Gibbles and Bits. We are now officially in the Ursula Return Lorcana Season 4. All of the cards have been released. People are collecting and building decks, and it's a really fun, exciting time where everything is pretty fluid. I think a point that I wanted to make today is during these exciting times and these exciting weeks when new sets are released, it is really tempting to be discouraged to experiment and make new decks if you don't have all of the chase cards. You don't have all of the exciting new legendaries that are really powerful. Granted, you have access to all of the cards in Pixelborn, but don't let the idea of you not having a full playset of some expensive or really powerful cards discourage you, especially in person, from still building and experimenting with fun decks. And I get to join some of my other local Memphis friends this weekend for a housewarming party where our friends Nathan and Carrie have set up a really cool event where we're doing 3 decks. We're doing a double feature deck, so your deck has to consist, it can be any colors, there's no color restrictions, but it has to only feature cards from 2 different franchises. So mine I'm going to be doing is going to be Hercules and Frozen, which is going to be really fun. The second deck is a multiplayer, like where you have multiple opponents deck. And the last one is what we're going to highlight for you today, which is my Pauper deck. So it's only commons and uncommons, what I'm calling the Pauper Showstopper deck. So this is just to highlight that because you don't have all of these legendary cards or all these super rares that make some of these powerful meta decks that people are discovering and finding, doesn't mean you can't win games and can't have fun. So all of the cards in this deck are either commons or uncommons, and we are highlighting several of the new ones. We've got Pegasus Gift of Hercules, a 1-cost 1/1 evasive for now for Emerald, and its shift partner, Pegasus Cloud Racer, which is an uncommon. 5-cost 3/3 evasive for that you can shift for 3. When you play this character, you shift him. All of your characters gain evasive until the start of your next turn, so they're protected through your opponent's next turn. We've got some new of our Madrigal friends in here. Camille Madrigal Prankster, really flexible, where you can either choose to give him an additional lore this turn or +2 challenger. Dolores Madrigal Easy Listener, which is an extra way to gain a card. If your opponent has an exerted card, you drop Dolores, who's got a decent body on her and a nice ink for 2 or questing for 2, and she's going to draw you a card. Those are kind of the new cards that we're highlighting in here, along with some of our old classics. Pascal Evasive, the Pain Underworld Imp, where if he's got 5 or more attack, he gains 2 lore, along with Panic that can give him that. Some nice draw from Cusco and Maleficent, some Goat lore, and then just some nice evasive with Tinkerbell and Ray. We've got the ability to pump our attack with Merlin Crab, last-ditch effort to get to some pesky characters that we couldn't normally get to, ring the bell to clear some hard big characters, Mother Knows Best to bounce some things, and Friends on the other side for more additional card draw. This is the Pauper deck that I'll be bringing to Carrie and Nathan's this weekend that somebody else will be playing. That's kind of the fun thing that we're doing with that Pauper deck is everyone brings a common, uncommon Pauper deck, and you're going to end up playing somebody else's. It's almost like a shuffle. So I hope that whoever plays this deck has fun with it. I'm having fun playing with it against even some of the powerful stuff that's on Pixelborn. If you aren't already, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out a lot. Come join us over on Discord. We're going to get into some gameplay footage now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, we've got Sapphire and Ruby. We're going to see a lot of really cool cards with this new set. People are still very much in the experimenting phase with the new set out, which is really cool. So we'd love to keep Panic if we found Pain already in our hand. I don't necessarily see him. We're gonna get rid of Ray. Camille, we are pretty flexible with our. Actually, gonna get rid of both Camillos. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what we find. We've got a pretty low curve, yeah. So I was like, odds of us finding something to play, and hey, look, we did find Pain, which is nice. All right, so let's go ahead and ink Ray. And we're going to play Pascal out on turn 1. This is probably the adjusted version of the Popsicle ramp deck. Yeah. All right, we did find Pain. So let's go ahead and ditch our other Pain to play Pain, which now gives Pascal his evasive. We can quest safely with Pascal. This guy is probably like, what is he playing? Is this some new archetype that I don't know about? No, it's just an unconventional deck with nothing that is big and scary. There's no Mulans in this deck. There's nothing else that you really should be super scared of. Let's go ahead and get rid of. And we'll go ahead and get rid of Cusco. That's fine for now. We'll play Panic, give the buff to Pain, who then gets all of the. And now we're at 5 because he just quested 4 for 3, which is cool. We do like to see that. We've got a solid board. He's playing the Ice Block, which I think this card, Ice Block, is really interesting. Chosen character gets -1 this turn. Like on face value, when you read that card during a reveal season, it doesn't feel like it's a card that should be overwhelmingly powerful. But when you put it in context for something like Brawl, banish chosen character with 2 or less attack, it's pretty dang good. It feels real solid. So we're going to go ahead and play Maleficent here. Draw ourselves a card. And we'll ink Pain for now. We're at 7. We love to see it. He doesn't have a board. We've got Merlin if he plays any locations, like to be able to give some attack to some things. Grandma Tally, he's still trying to ramp. Merlin. I think what we're going to do is we're going to sing from the other side. See what we can get. He doesn't have a character exerted, so we can't necessarily draw off of Dolores, but we can play Camilla Madrigal, which I think is an interesting play here. He's going to need some help clearing some of our stuff. All right, so we're at 9. We can give him an additional lore next turn and continue to quest. We can ring the bell if we need to, if he decides to take out Maleficent or attack Pain. He's inking a Brawl, so he's got something in the bag. Maui, great target for ring the bell. He's like, oh, my Maui's going to be safe for next turn. Does he take Grandma into Maleficent? He's going to Ice Block it. Okay. So we could give him +2 Challenger. So he has 4. However, we don't really need to. I think we may just continue questing. He does have someone exerted. However, we do want to play the ring the bell, so we're gonna get rid of a crab. Let's go ahead and play Cusco. That's quest, ring the bell on Maui. Okay, he sung How Far I'll Go. And that's going to be nice because we can Dolores next turn. Flaversham, he's going to start drawing some cards back. We want to continue to draw, and we're kind of some of these new decks, these Sapphire Ruby decks, aren't playing Be Prepared, which is interesting. Maybe they just don't feel like they need it, or they're trying to work on the inkable ratio. But we're kind of insulated from it because if Cusco dies, we draw a card. I mean, we've got Grandma Tala inked or exerted, so we are going to draw a card off of Dolores. You get a Pegasus, which is going to be great. We can hold that for next turn just in case we feel like we need it. We're going to quest with Cusco. We're going to quest for 2 with Camilo. Camilo. And we're going to quest to 16. And I think we just hold. He's got evasive too, and that's really nice, but yeah, we'll just hold it for now. And Dolores being readied in case he plays something like Scar. Yeah, so he's gonna try to draw some more cards here, which is fine. If you play something like Scar and tries to clear a bunch of units, Pascal is still safe because he can't get to Dolores. Not unless he sings something with Grandma Tala as like a removal, but he could ice block Brawl. All right, Madame Medusa to clear. Yes, to clear Cameo. Just because he's flexible enough with the additional attack and quest for 2. Be King Undisputed. Each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters. Cool. We're going to pick Cusco. We're going to get the card. Mother knows best. So we could send something back if we were really concerned about it. What's he got for 2? 1 jump ahead. Okay. So we could make him play Flaversham again. Let's go ahead and do that. There's a panic. We don't really need that at the moment. Let's go ahead and get rid of a crab. Quest to 19. Play Maleficent. Now we've got a pretty nice hand. And as long as Maleficent lives a turn, he can't get to Pascal. He ice blocked just to be able to do that before the Flaversham play Sisu. When you play this character, banish all chosen characters that have 2 or less attack. Very nice use of Sisu. And see, we've got a pretty tough, uninkable hand here. He still might just have more banish stuff. We'll go Dolores. Pegasus is going to be cool. And this is kind of what I like to call force him to have an answer, right? And let's see what he's got. He's got plenty of ink, but does he have the answer to stop us from questing one more time? Brawl to kill the Pegasus, okay? And theoretically, if we get an ink next turn, we can drop Panic and we can drop Pegasus next turn. We also have 3 goats in the deck. So we could end up just finding a goat and winning that way. Winning off some good old-fashioned goat lore. Ray is very interesting as well. Essentially kind of the same. Would we rather have Pegasus or would we rather have Ray? And it really doesn't matter. I think we'll just go ahead and ink Ray. Let's play the new fun card. Pegasus. Play Panic. And say, can you remove both of my things again? It's got 5 cards in hand. One of them's evasive. One of my units is evasive, and the other one, but they're both standing. Lucky Dime. Does Lucky Dime get him there? So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Lucky Dime would get him to 19. If my math is right. 18, 19. Can't play Be Prepared. I don't know if he has the ability to gain an additional lore from hand. I just don't know what all the nuances that are in that deck. One jump ahead. Nope. Looks like we're gonna pull this one out. Love to see it. I mean, that deck did a really good job of stalling us out. I mean, we got to 18, 19, and he was maybe at only a couple lore, but all of the removal tools with the 2 or less attack is really, really cool. I love the adaptation of that Sapphire Ruby deck, but we were just a bit too quick and a bit too untouchable with some of our evasive characters. Let's go ahead and cue up another one. Yeah, I built this deck because I'm playing this weekend, and I'll have probably talked about this in the deck overview, but I'm playing this deck in kind of a fun event this weekend that one of our local friends is hosting for a housewarming party, and this is being a Pauper deck, only commons and uncommons. I built this deck so that way hopefully it's a little easy to play, but it's also just got plenty of card draw. That's having a lot of card draw is just super flexible. It's a great thing to be able to have. Probably could have gotten rid of the panic since we don't have a pain, but really not a problem. Camille is interesting. We're going to draw some nice cards here. We don't have a turn 2 play, so I do want to keep both of these 1-drops. So let's go ahead and ink Camille out the gate. Let's go ahead and just play Pegasus since has evasive. Pegasus is almost Pascal, but just better. Like Pegasus just has the evasive inherently, doesn't have the requirement you have to have another character in play. So now we've got 2 evasive boys, which is nice. He's got his Cursed Merfolk, which we may or may not care about anyway. But he's probably going to end up having... All right, so he's going to ditch our friends, which I guess if you're playing against green is probably a good thing to do, right? Merlin Crab. Cool. So let's go ahead and ink Merlin Crab. Let's go ahead and shift Pegasus. Why not? He'll probably play Prince John here if he's got it, if this is a true discard deck with just some red flavor. I think I've seen this deck floating around. Sudden Chill. We probably don't care about Panic that much. Tells me he doesn't have Prince John. Oh, there's the pain. So let's ink that. Play Dolores, which is going to give us a card because they do have some exerted characters. I kind of like the idea of actually just... It's going to be hard to keep up with him questing, but we can remove that Merfolk. Once we probably next turn either play the Cusco and ink or play both things depending on what we draw, and then we can bounce that. I can use Pascal and get rid of that Cursed Merfolk for free. Same thing with the Flynn if he decides to quest with it. It's the advantage of some of these against some of these discard decks is if you can just get a decent early hand, because he's got Diablo, which is evasive, but we've got plenty of evasive to deal with Diablo. Yeah, so let's hope that we just draw. Either way, we should be able to slow down his hand here. Playing both of those out is fantastic. So now we go. We actually can keep Dolores pretty healthy. Or do we want to keep Pegasus healthy? Let's keep Pegasus healthy so we can't trade Diablo into Pegasus. We go into Ursula. And then we'll just quest with Pascal. So now we'll get some card draw if he ever kills Cusco. We've got a better board than him to quest better. He kills... Interesting target. I guess that probably was his best target. So he'll draw off Diablo, which is fine. And we can't even play Pegasus right now. But we can... We'll kill Pegasus into Diablo just to take it out. We'll ink this Pegasus just so we don't have to lose the card. Kill with Flynn. And quest. See, all the evasive that we've got is actually pretty potent against Diablo. And he only drew one card off of the Diablo, and he didn't clear anything of ours. None of his discard tools are going to help him because we don't have a hand. He got another Diablo. That's fine. He's going to have to use it to clear. Okay, ring the bell. That's fine. I mean, come deal with us. Is essentially what we've said to him. And if you decide to try to value trade Diablo into Pascal, then we just win by questing 2 off of Pegasus and 2 off of Dolores if you can't clear anything else. Okay, so his Diablo essentially did him... He got no card draw off of it. Okay. So and he plays out his 3rd Diablo. Okay, well, we can friends. We'll play Ring the Bell. Or we'll ink Ring the Bell and draw 2 more cards, I guess. Quest. And unless he can clear both things, we win. There we go. We've done it again. By just being a bit faster than our opponent and the flexibility of having some evasive and being able to play out tempo but refill our hand when necessary, or I guess ditch our hand when we needed to against discard, was good. Another Sapphire Ruby deck. Probably because this is like the popular one that's been floating around. It's probably the same one. I have never seen this like cow print on an opponent's card. That is someone who has bought cards or bought card backs. Ooh, we got the Pegasus and Pegasus combo here. 2-drop Pain. Let's go ahead and ditch. Just ditch the Mother Knows Best. We probably don't need it right now. We are going second, which a little bit of a disadvantage. We like to get out ahead against a deck like this. Okay. I love the Ray play here, but I just don't think it's going to be fast enough right now. So we're going to go Pegasus. Scuttle. Scuttle's pretty neat. Another... Do we go triple 1-drop? That's really interesting. We probably play out something else. But dang if that isn't tempting. It isn't tempting to just go triple wide 1-drop evasive and just say, deal with me. In case we draw some attack, we'll play this in Quest with Pegasus. Because next turn we're going to shift with Pegasus, and then we can Quest with Pain for free. But if we end up drawing any of our panics, then Pain is just a pretty aggressive quester early, which we like. Or if we draw in like a crab, then Pain is also a really good clear. Oh, Sisu! You love to see it. And that's where we get punished, I guess, for not going super wide, because then we could have still shifted in and cleared Sisu next turn. Okay, so let's actually... Let's get rid of Cusco. No, it's probably still getting rid of Ray. I don't want to get rid of our second Ray, but I guess we're going to kind of have to, right? And let's go Cusco, Pegasus. We're going to kind of go all in a little bit here on some of our go wide. And then Pegasus will shift in next turn. If he quests with Sisu, we can just take it out. It's another one of these Sapphire Ruby decks that is just really good about dealing with small attack carriers, which we have a lot of. Another Sisu. There you go. He just doesn't want us to be able to play any of the evasive stuff. And so I don't want to bounce any of that back. another evasive in Pascal is kind of interesting. We could just ditch the Pegasus, play Pascal, just hard cast friends, and we look what we get. We're rewarded. Can't clear Scuttle. We're probably just questing here with Pain and Cusco. If he clears Cusco, we draw the card, so we don't really care. This is not a great matchup for us to use Mother Knows Best because he's got a lot of on-action plays. These Sisus have done their damage, but we don't really need to worry about clearing them per se. But we probably will eventually. Hey, there's Panic. So I think this turn we actually don't ink. We're going to go Panic onto Pain, Quest with Pain, Quest with Cusco, Quest with Pascal, and play Pegasus. And now we're starting to win this questing battle a little bit. He's probably going to take out a Sisu with a Pascal. We may just get outraced here. Okay, he sung that with Grandma Tala. We are going to quest very hard next turn, though, if he doesn't clear anything. Because everything's about to get evasive. When actually, everything getting evasive will allow us to clear Sisus. Interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go shift Pegasus, which is going to give everybody evasive. But he didn't clear anything. So now, bang, 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 bang. So now we've got a wide board. Everything's got evasive. He essentially has to have a be prepared or be able to drop Sisu, the shift Sisu, for 6 this turn. And I think that would clear everything but Pegasus. We'd quest for 2, and we would have Goat Lore. So I still do, even if he does drop shift Sisu, I still do like our position a lot. Okay, he shifts in Sisu. That clears everything but the Pegasus. He doesn't have a way to deal with it because it still is evasive. All right, let's count his lore for next turn. So he's got 3, so 15, 16, 17, 18. If he plays Lucky Dime, he wouldn't have enough to be able to use it because Lucky Dime is that. So it's, I think Lucky Dime is 7 and it costs 2 to use. So he wouldn't have enough. So he'd have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He'd still be off by 2. So I think the play here still is just GOAT. And quest to 19. And then we just hope that he doesn't have the ability to ramp hard enough to with a Lucky Dime. I don't think he has the ability to, and I don't think he has any immediate. There we go. We got him again. We got that deck again by just being hard enough to get to and going fast enough. That shift Pegasus was really, really nice because everything was untouchable at that point. Outside of, it forced him to have to play the Sisu, which may have been his plan anyway. But there you go. There's 3 games in a row of our Pauper showstopper deck that just popped off, if you will. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.